Hi, I'm Sophie, and welcome to my world. You know, a lot of people have been requesting organizational materials like a mail center, which is what I'm going to show you how to make today. Today we're going to make a duct tape and cereal box mail center. Now you can use it for anything you like, but I think it's awesome for, the entryway or wherever you want to keep your mail. So I am going to be using for this project a cereal box. Now I only need one cereal box, but you want to make sure that it's a nice sized one. So this is a decent sized cereal box. I will need a marker or pen or pencil. I'm going to be using my X-Acto knife, a ruler, some scissors, duct tape, and of course, a glue gun. So the first thing you want to do is open up your cereal box. Now I'm going to be making my front part. You want to open this up so that all the pieces don't cut anything off. Just open the whole thing up. I'm going to make the front part of my mail carrier 3 inches high. And that's usually, I find, high enough to keep anything from toppling out. So what I'm going to do is measure up 3 inches here. And why I love using cereal boxes is because they've got a natural, nice fold there, and it's always straight. So you can always measure right the first time. So I mark here and I mark here to get 3 inches. And I'm only going to draw my line from one side to the other side. I'm not going to go straight across the entire thing. I'm going to go from one side to the other side, from one fold to the other fold. This is either the front or the back of your cereal box. Just that much, like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is measure up 1.5 inches from there. Okay, and that's going to be 4.5 inches from the bottom. And I'm now going to draw a line on the other side like that. And now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to actually connect these 2 little lines on a diagonal so that I end up with an edge there. I'm going to measure up on this side over here, 4.5 inches as well. And mark that. Now, I'm going to cut this. Now, the great thing is that I'm going to be using this as my template for my next side, so I don't have to do quite as much measuring. Okay. Always be careful with your X-Acto knife. Line up your ruler. Make sure you have a nice cutting surface. What I love about cereal boxes is that they have a nice weight to them and they're pretty easy to cut. That was just one swipe of my X-Acto knife and it goes right straight through. Okay, going for the diagonal. And straight across. And the diagonal. There we go. Now, take this piece and you're going to take it to the opposite side here. And we're going to be using this as the front of the back piece. So I'm going to just mark it right here. There's my 4.5. And you can always just, come back and measure it if you wanted to make sure. And I'm going to go straight across there. And here is the 4.5. I'm going to go up 1.5 inches from the 4.5 to 6. So measure over here 6 inches. And this is going to be the back of the mail carrier. Okay. And once again, connect the lines with an angle. And over here, we're going to measure up 6 inches. And make another line at an angle, like that. And now we're going to cut this piece up. don't need my pen anymore. Okay, so I'm going to start with my little diagonal, and then this long one, this one, and straight across. Whoop, let's not cut the marble. And whoop, there we go. So now you end up with this great piece. You don't need this anymore. This can go away. You can save that for some other project later on. Okay, now all we're going to do is fold up the flaps at all of their spots and glue it together. I always find that it's best to glue the side flaps first. So you can see where it was glued originally. So just take your bead of glue. Now you don't have to use hot glue if you don't want to, but I like hot glue because it just dries instantly, you know, in like 30 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to fold this over and attach it back to where it was before. Now, you probably are going to find that you have a tiny little flap there, and that's okay. We're just going to trim that. Okay, so got that stuck together. Now I turn it over here and fold my little flaps down and add a little dab of glue here and a little dab of glue here and fold that down. You might want to push your fingers in from the back side. Do remember when you're using hot glue to be careful because it is hot, hence the name. Don't want anybody to get burned while they're making their mail center. And then you just run a bead of glue here. If you're nervous about hot glue, the other thing that you can do is lay the glue down, count to 15 in your head, and then push the pieces together. It won't be as warm, and you'll be less likely to get burned. Okay, so there is the backside of my mail carrier. I'm going to jump ahead here because I've actually already put two pieces together. As you can see, there they are, one piece and two piece. This just came from one cereal box. Now what I'm going to do is just glue these two pieces together. And I'm just going to use a healthy bit of hot glue here. And, whoops, line those two pieces up, bottom and sides. And there you have it. There's your mail carrier.